Hello, everyone. Change is inevitable, but growth, you got to grow on purpose. And have you ever imagined walking into a store, picking up what you need, and then just walking out? No checkout lines, no waiting, nobody checking your receipt. That's not the future. That, believe it or not, is the right now. And Sam's Club and Amazon are rolling out artificial intelligence to make shopping faster and easier and less hassle. And you can walk out the store. Now, what does this shift towards automation mean for the people behind the counters and the people working in the stores and the customers that they serve? At Sam's Club, AI technology is changing the traditional checkout process. Remember how we went from, going through the checkout line and, the cashiers were checking us out. Then we transitioned to what I call the fast checkout lane, where, if you had a couple items, you can go and you can check out in the fast line and just go right out and check yourself out. Well, now it's getting even faster. It's getting even faster. Shoppers can now leave the store faster and bypass all of the receipt checks. And I'm going to talk about an article of a change that just came out at Sam's Club. And everybody knows Sam's Club. We've been there. It's like the bulk. You buy everything in bulks. And this is thanks to AI cameras and scanners that essentially verify the purchases automatically. It's not just about speed, it's about an entire role shift, an entire job shift for the workers there. The employees who used to focus on checking the receipts at the door to making sure, everything that you have in your basket is what you have on that receipts, they're now going to be freed up to do other things. They're going to be freed up to assist the customer. They're going to be freed up to solve problems. They're going to be freed up to work in teams to get things done quicker. And this shift, it's an example of how technology is changing jobs all across the industries, not just in trucking, not just in transportation, but in retail, in aviation, in public transportation. It's changing things. Automation and AI are changing the way we live, work, and play. And as more and more of these tasks become automated, your value as an employee, as a worker, it's gonna lie, and it's gonna come in your soft skills and what you can bring to the table from a soft skill customer service perspective. How you interact with others, how you solve unexpected challenges and problems, how creative are you, how you take care of the customer, and how you provide exceptional customer service. These are all things that are becoming your most useful critical tools. And I want to ask you a question. How can embracing this new technology, this new automation, how can embracing it early on help to boost your ability, your personal ability to excel in these soft skill areas? How can you ensure that as the world keeps speeding up, that you keep speeding up in your skills, in your knowledge, in being able to adapt, and ultimately being able to thrive? And so I want you to think about how you can take all of these changes that are happening around us in automation and autonomy and artificial intelligence. How can you take advantage of them? How can you be able to enhance your own skills to open up bigger and better opportunities for yourself and your family? Because at the end of the day, change is inevitable. It's happening, and it's happening all around us. But your growth is intentional, and it has to be on purpose. And so you're here today because you're ready to grow. You're ready to grow. And if you're new here, welcome. Welcome. I appreciate you for being here. and taking time out of your day. Do me a favor and just take a few minutes to subscribe to the channel, to turn on the notifications so that you never miss a show, so that you never miss an opportunity when I go live. I'm here every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. My name is Jerri Banks, and I own a recruitment and education agency where we focus on two things. On the recruitment side, it's all about connecting truck drivers with our trucking company partners. These are partners that are looking for qualified and exceptional drivers to be able to take care of their customer and safely move goods and freight across the country. And on the education side, we host workshops and webinars and help you to elevate your skills in a future where we're seeing more automation, we're seeing more autonomy, we're seeing more new technology enter our space. And it's not just trucking, it's the entire transportation ecosystem from, of course, trucking to aviation, where I have over 20 years in that field. Also, public transportation, the railroad. We're seeing automation, artificial intelligence, and autonomy being incorporated more and more into our industry. We talk about traditional truck driving jobs, and we talk about jobs in the autonomous sector where you can take your current skills and combine them with new skills where you can become a game changer for someone's company. And then lastly, the last segment of our show, which I think has grown to be my favorite segment, is the learning lane. And in the learning lane, I share actionable tips that you can use right now to help you upskill and reskill and get ready for the future of work in a workforce that is changing. So, again, thank you for being here. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you turn on the notifications. We have a very action packed, full of information show today, and it's Friday. Who is happy that it's Friday? Let me just say hello to all of my friends. Hello on TikTok. Hello, Queen. Hello, Pink. Hello, Jenna Marie. How are you? Hello, Linda, Loretta. Look, TikTok, everybody over there is it's always jumping on TikTok. So if you have not connected to me on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, make sure you connect. I am across all of. I'm Jerri Banks. I'm Jerri Banks. Our agency focuses on driver recruitment and driver education. We focus on helping drivers and preparing them for the future of trucking and transportation as autonomous vehicles and automation enters the industry. Our goal is to ensure that you are equipped with the skills that you need to be successful in this new way of life. So make sure you connect with me across all of my platforms. Jerri Banks, Autonomous Trucking. When it comes to autonomous trucks entering the trucking and transportation industry, up until now, you've only heard bits and pieces, news here, news there. There's been no centralized place for you to learn about autonomous trucks. Join me every Wednesday and Thursday and Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time as I share information, news, and education on how you can stay prepared for autonomous trucks and autonomy entering the trucking and transportation industry. All right. Like I said, we have an action packed show today. Today, we're going to talk about the AI tech that I opened the show with. We're going to talk about how Sam's Club's customers are being able to get out the door faster in all the locations. It'll be in all the locations very, very soon. We're going to talk about robo truckers roaming the freeway in Texas. We're going to talk about autonomous racing. There was a self-driving autonomous car that raced against a Formula One driver. We're going to talk about that. And I have a traditional truck driving job that I'm going to be sharing. And in the learning lane, we're going to focus on what is the irreplaceable human element. The irreplaceable human element. I want to first also, before we get into the show, I want to especially thank our sponsor, TexasCarAccidents.com.
I'd like to thank our show's sponsor. Today, our show is sponsored by Texas Car Accidents. TexasCarAccidents.com with an S. After an accident, there's 5 key questions that you need to ask yourself to see if you even have a case. Even if you're not in Texas, this could be very helpful for you and a great place to start if you ever find yourself involved in an accident. Their website is a wealth of information, and our partner is Dustin over there. Make sure you tell him that you heard about TexasCarAccidents.com right here on Navigating the Future of Trucking with me, Jerri Banks.
Again, thank you to our sponsor. Thank you, Dustin, over there, for you and your amazing team doing with a wealth of information and knowledge. Again, thank you. Let's move right into AI tech that gets Sam's Club customers out the door faster. Let's talk about it. Let me share my screen so that I can pull up this article. This article is courtesy of USA Today. And make sure you check it out. We'll have the link in the description box so you can view that entire article. But this technology was first revealed at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas back in January. The Consumer Electronics Show has so many amazing things that come out, and it's a great place for you to see like automation and what the future holds and what we're going to be seeing in the future. But this tech is being utilized in Sam's Club. And tell me what you think about this. And so it's an AI tech, and it's utilized to speed up the checkout. And it almost looks like metal detectors, but it verifies the automation purchase. So it scans the receipt essentially, and it verifies that you did make this purchase as you're walking out the door. Let me see if I can pull up what it actually looks like. Here it is. Here it is right here. So it's a walkthrough. You walk through this little doorway essentially, and it's going to scan and make sure that you've purchased it before you leave the store. So pretty interesting, pretty new tech. And so it uses cameras, it uses sensors, and scanners at the store to verify your purchase, and it eliminates the need for like a manual receipt check, a person. And if you've been at Sam's, I've been at Sam's a lot. We typically go once a month, and it reduces the wait time. Like sometimes those lines can get real long as you're waiting to walk out the door. You might have a fast line, and you might be moving real quick going through the checkout, but you get held up typically when you're walking out the door because everybody's walking out the door. There's one, sometimes two, in most cases, one person that is checking your receipt, making sure that all your purchases you have in the basket are actually what you bought. But this technology is just like a step in the entire retail industry's adoption of AI. And the goal is to implement this in all the Sam's Club locations by the end of 2024, at the end of this year. And so it integrates with their existing Scan and Go app. So it allows you, as you're a customer, to scan the item as you shop and pay for the item and just walk out the store after it's been verified. So from an employee perspective, it's faster for the customers, but let's talk about it from the employee perspective. So, as I told you earlier, employees are going to be, instead of checking receipts, and they're going to be able to focus on other tasks. They're going to be able to provide better assistance to the customers. They're going to be able to go help in different departments. So, again, those soft skills, being able to work directly with that customer, that is going to be what sets you apart. Being able to communicate, being able to deliver on exceptional service, those are things that sets you apart from everybody else. Okay. Amazon has a similar technology. They call it just walk out. It's a just walk out technology. And so they use it in their stores with that they have their partnerships that they have with third parties where the cameras and the sensors will automatically detect the items that you've taken off the shelf and charge you. Um, so in some areas, in some partnerships, they're kind of scaling back on this technology, but in other areas, they're increasing it. They're increasing that. So it's essentially an AI powered checkout system that is going to help the store improve their efficiency and ultimately take better care of the customer. So this is the future of retail. We are going to see this more and more. And if you have a Sam's Club, if you I don't think they have it in my Sam's Club yet. But tell me, have you seen this in your Sam's Club? I want to know. I want to know if you have seen this in your Sam's Club. Drop it in the comments. And let me just take a moment to recognize Mr. Leonard. Good morning, Mr. Leonard. Hello. Mr. Leonard says, good morning. What's happening, everybody? And I also want to say hello to all of my folks over on TikTok. Hello, Adrian. Hello, Mike. Hello, Upper Room. Hello, Ricardo Gonzalez. Hello, everybody. Make sure you keep tapping that screen. Make sure that you are connected with me on TikTok, on YouTube, across all of my social media platforms. We'll take a break and we will be right back. And I'm going to talk about Formula One racing and autonomous vehicles. When it comes to autonomous trucks entering the trucking and transportation industry, up until now, you've only heard bits and pieces, news here, news there. There's been no centralized place for you to learn about autonomous trucks. Join me every Wednesday and Thursday and Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time as I share information, news, and education on how you can stay prepared for autonomous trucks and autonomy entering the trucking and transportation industry. Inside the Autonomous Racing League event that pitted a self driving car against a Formula One driver. Look, a self driving car raced a Formula One driver. Let's talk about it. Let me pull that up for you. Look, this I thought was so interesting because engineers, software developers, they're pushing boundaries. They're pushing boundaries, and we're seeing so many things in regards to automation, in regards to autonomy, in regards to artificial intelligence. And so, this was the Abu Dhabi Autonomous Racing League. And they stand out from other autonomous racing series because it's a multi-car competition, and they put the top autonomous car against a human driver. And so the focus was on the software development. There's a lot of different engineers that came in to compete to create the most efficient and effective algorithm for this autonomous driving, and it showcased the progress made in autonomous technology. It also highlighted different challenges and different opportunities that that they faced in putting the autonomous car against the human driver. So I'm going to drop this, and I'm not going to tell you who won. You got to read the article. I'm going to drop the article in the description box of the link so that you can check it out, read the full article, see what's going on out there in the world of racing, and how autonomy is entering racing and how autonomy is changing the racing world. I love that. I love that for them. Make sure that you check out that article. I have the link in the description box. That article was brought to us by TechCrunch. Thank you, TechCrunch, for that insightful and amazing article. And the last thing that I want to share with you is an article on robo truckers. What's a robo trucker? Robo trucker is um, a truck that's out there as a robot, out there driving itself. Let me go ahead and pull this article for you as well. I think you'll like this one. This is in regards to an article by Mark Dent in Texas Monthly News, and he got to experience a ride in a Kodiak self-driving semi truck, and he kind of talks about the experience. Seeing what really stood out for me was seeing a pedestrian jogging along the freeway, and how the truck recognized that pedestrian so far in advance of getting to them, and was able to maneuver and change lanes and as needed. So it was the perception, it was the ability to see so far ahead, and then the ability to react. And so it talks about companies like Kodiak and Aurora and how they're leading the way in putting self driving trucks on Texas highways. I've already told you how Texas is the place for testing and deploying self driving autonomous technology. Texas, with its regulatory friendly environment, Texas, with its climate that, is essentially ideal for this type of testing and this type of deployment. And then Texas has, I like to say here in Texas, because I'm in Texas, we are our own little, country, and it's so big that you would need to stop halfway across Texas just to take a long break, and then start back up just to get to the other side. But it's Texas has so much freight, and the ability, having that much freight, just enables more testing. It enables the ability to operate on more lanes. Currently, some of the lanes that the autonomous developers are testing and deploying, they're not just testing, they've already deployed, with a safety operator in the truck, of course. But in Texas, they're running between Houston and Dallas, Dallas and El Paso, Dallas and Atlanta, San Antonio, Dallas and Oklahoma. So those are just some of the lanes that, if you're in Texas and you're driving on some of those lanes, you might see or might be riding next to an autonomous truck, and you may not even know. So Texas is the grandfather, the pioneer of all things autonomous trucking. And as a native Texan, born, raised, and bred here in Texas, I am super, super grateful and super excited for everything that's to come, because guess what? I am on the forefront of it. You should also join me and be on the forefront of it, and make sure you are connected with me. Make sure you're tapped in so that you can always stay ahead of what's going on. You can always work to join our workshops, join our webinars, to stay ahead, to learn the skills that you can be learning, that you should be learning in order to excel in the new future of trucking. Now, what's the benefit of these trucks? What's the benefit? What's the good? You know, a lot of these trucks, it's all about safety. It's all about safety, not being distracted, not being able to react very, very quickly, um, being able to, which quick reaction can prevent accidents before they even happen. And so they're being tested over and over and over to ensure their safety. They're being tested over and over to ensure that they're safety. They're going to save money. They're going to make the industry and the transportation infrastructure more sustainable, to be able to sustain itself. I posted something on LinkedIn the other day with my grandbaby. I have 5 grandkids. I want it to be is sustained from a longevity perspective for them and their kids and their kids. And so this is an evolution. It's just evolving with the times. And so it's not a matter of when or a matter of if, it's a matter of right now, today. Like, It's been tested for years. They've been testing for years. And so I encourage you to continue to learn, continue to grow outside of here. Outside of here. Continue to learn, continue to grow. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the article, and I want you to check it out. We'll also make sure the link is here in the description box. The bad, the cons. People are nervous. People are nervous about the self-driving technology because they've heard about accidents in some of the cars. They've heard about different things, and so these companies are sharing information. They're sharing knowledge. Companies like Gatic, like Kodiak, like Aurora, they're sharing as much as they can so that they can build and gain our trust. They can gain the people's trust to show that they're safe, to show that they're not here to take anyone's job. If anything, they're here to improve your job, make your job more efficient, make you more efficient, and improve the overall safety of the people on the roadways. So, from a job perspective, you're going to have a job. And once you get over that fear of losing your job, then you'll be able to open your mind to bigger possibilities and bigger opportunities. And, but here's the thing, your job, your role, as we start to see the commercialization, which means more and more of them coming in over the next 5 years, your role is going to shift. Your role is going to change. But that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. And I go back to my grandparents and their parents when, we moved from the horse and the carriage to the car to the train and all of those things. My grandpa was a rancher, and they had acres and acres and acres of land, and they went from horses and carriages and all these things to automobiles to be able to get into town, to get, the groceries and all of those things. It's evolution. It's evolution. And it's essentially, we are essentially, and those of you that join our community, that join this movement of embracing this technology through understanding it and through learning about it and through upskilling and reskilling yourself. When you do that, you're on the forefront. You're the pioneer. And so that's what we are. We are the pioneers. And so, from a national perspective, um, the government, they're working to bring in more rules, bring in more regulations when it comes to the autonomous tech. And so, continue to learn because knowledge is power. And teaching people about this new tech, which these companies are doing, it helps to build public trust and help us be less and less worried and more okay and more understanding of what it is and what it's about. So let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll be talking about an OTR, traditional truck driving job, that I'd love to share with you.
I'd like to thank our show's sponsor. Today, our show is sponsored by Texas Car Accidents. TexasCarAccidents.com with an S. After an accident, there's 5 key questions that you need to ask yourself to see if you even have a case. Even if you're not in Texas, this could be very helpful for you and a great place to start if you ever find yourself involved in an accident. Their website is a wealth of information, and our partner is Dustin over there. Make sure you tell him that you heard about TexasCarAccidents.com right here on Navigating the Future of Trucking with me, Jerri Banks.
All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you so much. Make sure that you are connected with me across all of my social media platforms. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you turn on notifications. Hello to everybody over on TikTok. TikTok is they get to see the behind the scenes. They get to see me drinking water in between the breaks and all of the things. So hello TikTok. Mad Max says this won't happen in my lifetime. And I appreciate your comment, Mad Max, but I want you to go and just kind of do some research and see, because it's not a matter of it won't happen in our lifetime. And I don't know how old you are, Mad Max, but thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate that. Um, it will happen in our lifetime. We're already seeing it happen. They've already delivered millions of miles of freight in this autonomous tech. Now, it's not going to be a light switch. It's going to turn on and it'll flip around and we'll see like hundreds and hundreds of autonomous trucks on the road. No, that won't happen. But we already see them. And a lot of the places, you're right. And he says, I know it won't because the infrastructure isn't ready for it. The infrastructure in Texas is already happening. It's already primed for it. And the Texas, like I said, it's a regulatory and friendly environment, and they're continuously building and continuously growing to make that happen. There is a highway. Can't remember. I want to say I'm gonna have to find it because Mad Max got me looking. Thank you, Mad Max. It's a state highway in Texas. They're calling it the Smart Freight Corridor, and it is on I no, it's not an interstate. It's State Highway 130. State Highway 130, and I can share this screen. If you're on my YouTube, you can actually see, but it's State Highway 130, and they call it a smart freight corridor. And this is where this company called Cavnu is working collaboratively with the state of Texas to build the nation's first automated trucking corridor. And trucking, it says truck and freight volumes on Texas interstate are expected to increase by 50% between 2016 and 2045. That's how much they expect the freight to increase. But State Highway 130 Smart Freight Corridor, it will be focused on a 21-mile segment of the highway in Greater Austin, in the Austin area, and they're gonna it has the potential to grow and expand to Interstate I-10, Interstate 35, and Interstate 45, which is that Texas Triangle. But it integrates roadway and technology improvements that provide a connected and automated. It helps for connected and automated trucks with key information. So it talks to the automated trucks, the autonomous trucks, about roadways ahead, about what's on the roadways ahead, optimizing their performance, and then helping them be safe of what's ahead. So you're right. That's a infrastructure um, improvement that's happening right now, and it's not going to be a flip the switch overnight thing, but we're already seeing so many small incremental steps towards this growth, towards this development. And I appreciate you bringing that point up because um, yeah, yeah, that's a great point, but it's here. And I think I'm 48. Well, I always say I'm 48, y'all. I don't know why I say I'm 48. I'm not 48, okay? I am 47, I think. Okay, I think. But I'm 47. And I was born in 77. I'm 47. And you we will see this in our lifetime. My kids, who are between the ages of 14 and 28, they're going to see it in their lifetime for sure. We've already got like I have my daughter doesn't even drive. She doesn't drive. She doesn't want to get a driver's license because she Ubers wherever she wants to go. Like they Uber their food. They have food delivered to the house. Like that's a world that if I would have Ubered food to my house and my mom cooked, there would be a big problem in my house. It would be some mad people, okay? But they're getting food delivered, not just pizza, because we did have pizza delivery when I was growing up, but that was the only thing that we could get delivered, or that would, that was able to get delivered. But they could get McDonald's in the middle of the night. This is a new generation. It's a whole new ball game and new world that we're entering into. So he says, yeah, they're supposed to turn 35 into an intermodal hub for KC for customs 20 years ago and nothing. Well, they're doing some work now. They are doing some work on 35 now. So make sure you check out that. Look at Interstate 35. They are definitely doing some work, and it is moving pretty quickly. It's moving pretty quickly. So again, if you're not tapped into me on TikTok, make sure you tap into me and check out the TikTok. But let's go right into our traditional truck driving job. Next week, we'll be talking about autonomous operator jobs and some of the skills that you need to be able to get into those fields and those careers. I will say probably the number one thing and the most important thing is safety. That's going to be on traditional and on autonomous. Safety, safety, safety. They want somebody who's safe. They want somebody whose driving record is pretty clean. Um, they want someone who takes the time to do all the checks, the pre-trip, the post-trip, all of those things. If safety isn't your first and foremost thing that you're thinking about, um, you need to make sure that that's the thing that you think about. So this OTR solo run, it's over the road, primarily running east of I-35. It's with a trucking company partner that we have, and it's hauling general freight. You could be either running in the south, the southeast, the Midwest, or the Northeast. You're typically out anywhere from 10 to 14 days and home for 1 day for every week that you're out. So some drivers want to stay out longer. Some most want to stay out 2-3 weeks at a time. But typically on this particular run, you're out for 10 to 14 days at a time. Now, hiring areas, it's pretty much, I can tell you where it's not hiring. It's not hiring in no San Antonio, no Southern Louisiana, the states of Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Tennessee, Louisiana, and Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, no Florida, no hiring in Florida. Northeast, we're hiring in Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey, Maine, New Hampshire, these entire states. These entire states, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, New York, Vermont, and Virginia. And then in the Midwest, Nebraska, Missouri, Kansas, Wisconsin, Illinois, and Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia. No northern Wisconsin and no northern Michigan on this particular account, but it's pretty much hiring in a lot of areas. So I've got the number scrolling down on the screen. So if you want to text OTR, you can text it to our team. Just text the words OTR and they'll know what you're talking about. The girls are standing by, wanting to see if we can get you pre-qualified. But this position, from a pay perspective, drivers are averaging anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500 a week. It's going to vary based on your experience level. So we'll be able to kind of calculate, and it's verifiable experience. I have to say that. Verifiable experience. It's not, I went and I drove for my cousin and his business is shut down now, and he can't verify it. No, it has to be verifiable experience. It has to be able to be verified, and then that's going to base what your pay is on. From a team perspective, I also got this same opportunity for teams. Team drivers are averaging about $1,800 a week each. Each driver averages about $1,800 a week. And if you understand teams, I love teams because team drivers typically make more, because if me and my husband are running teams, my husband is driving and I'm in the back sleeping or eating or scrolling on TikTok or whatever. Guess what? While I scroll, I still get paid for all the miles that the truck moves. That if you don't understand teams, if you've never done teams, that's how teams work. And if you want to do a team, if you're interested, if you have a partner and you guys think about running teams, it's a great opportunity. And you get paid while you scroll on TikTok in the back. Okay, in the back of the cab while your partner's driving, you're getting paid because you get paid for all the miles that the truck moves. And so I think that's a big deal. That's great. Get your partner, get your team. You guys run together. Let's get you on this account. Now, experience wise, you do have to have at least a year of experience. You do have to have at least a year of experience from a job perspective. I want you to think about this from a job perspective. Think about, you cannot have more than 6 jobs in the last 3 years. Can't have more than 6 jobs in the last 3 years, and they want you to have at least 6 months on your job. So you can't be like with this company for 2 months and then with this company for 2 months and then bam with this company for no. They want to see longevity, and that's not just this company. All of our companies, they want to see longevity on a job, that you're not just gonna get there, stay for a few minutes, and then leave. They want longevity. No truck abandonments. Nobody should have truck abandonments. No terminations. Layoff is not a termination, so that's not included. And it is a urine drug screen, urine drug test for this particular company. If you don't want your hair shaved off, this is the company that you should go to. All right, so let's go, and I'd like to recognize Orlando. Orlando says, I just got my CDL. I'm learning all I can learn now. Let me tell you something, Orlando. You are doing exactly what you should be doing. My son got his CDL almost 2 years now. My years are running together. That's why I don't even know how old I am. But my son got his CDL almost 2 years ago. And that is the one thing that I told him, other than, be safe and don't job hop and don't, all the mama things that I say, the mama recruiter things that I say. But the one thing that I've always told him is to learn. Learn as much as you can. Go when you're at that shipper, make sure you're reading that paperwork, the BO, you got the BOL, read it. Learn, see what you can learn from it. You know, there's so many things in this industry, so many different avenues that you can go into. You don't have to just sit in the driver's seat. There's so many different avenues. Fleet manager, fleet operations, diesel technician. I'm a beat diesel technician into the ground, because a driver with a Class A CDL and can fix the truck with that dual capability, you are worth your weight in gold. That is so powerful to have both of those things. So think about that. And there are programs that will help you pay for that, that will help you get your diesel technician certification, because you hear me talking about autonomy, you hear me talking about autonomous trucks and automation, all of those things. You will be so valuable if you can drive and repair the truck. Okay. That's definitely something to think about. So, Orlando, congratulations. My top advice for you is to ensure that you're um, always safe, that you value your Class A CDL, just like you value, that precious family member, just like you value anything that's going to make you money over and over and over again. That is your business. Your CDL is your business. So congratulations, and sign up for all the newsletters. Go to as many truck shows and trucking conferences that you can, because that is where you're going to learn. That is how you're going to learn. YouTube University is a great place as well. So, congratulations to Orlando. Everybody help me congratulate Orlando on getting his Class ACDL. And Mr. Leonard is talking about Uber. He said, yeah, back when he was growing up, he could just order pizza, just pizza. He delivered, but pizza got delivered, but the rest of this Uber Eats stuff, not having, not having. So yeah, they can only order pizza. They not ordering all the other stuff on Uber Eats and stuff like that. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll move right into our learning lane, and then we'll be wrapping up the show. Thank you for being here.
I'm Jerri Banks. Our agency focuses on driver recruitment and driver education. We focus on helping drivers and preparing them for the future of trucking and transportation as autonomous vehicles and automation enters the industry. Our goal is to ensure that you are equipped with the skills that you need to be successful in this new way of life. So make sure you connect with me across all of my platforms. Jerri Banks, Autonomous Trucking. I look forward to connecting with you.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. This is Navigating the Future of Trucking, Navigating the Future of Transportation, where we talk about everything from autonomy to automation to trucking to aviation to retail, everything that's changing our way of life and helping you to elevate, helping you to understand what's happening, but also helping you to reskill and upskill into this new future. And so, in our learning lane, we're going to talk about the irreplaceable human element. And so, what is that irreplaceable human element? In a world that we're seeing more and more autonomy, more technology, more advancements, we've talked about autonomous vehicles, we've talked about AI in the show today, the retail that Sam's Club has, but there's still a place for human skills, the human connection, and intuition. And so, while autonomous trucks and race cars, self-driving race cars, why they showcase and talk about, all of the unique things and amazing things that they're doing, we still, as people, bring so much to the table. We are adaptable. These things, these robots, they can't think on their feet like we can. They cannot adjust. Well, they can adjust, but we have to still be able to adjust. We still use our experience and our gut feelings to just figure out what to do. Even the best computer programs, the best AI, sometimes they do get stuck. That's why you're not replaceable. That's why you're needed. We are smart. We are creative. I've seen so many like creative things and creative thoughts and ideas come alive with technology. So we have to utilize that technology, because it's going to take, with these self-driving technologies, with automation, it takes creative thinking. It takes creative thinking and problem solving, these types of skills, to understand all the data, to understand how to make these things work. And that's where you excel. And then emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is that thing that you have, that skill, that empathy, those soft skills. It's how you build relationships. It's how you create a sense of community. These are things that robots can't do. And in the racing, in the autonomy, the human element and the personalities, that drives a big part of things. And then ethical decision making. We have to think about, people losing their jobs and keeping everybody safe and making sure the computer programs are fair and they're not biased. because these decisions are going to require the humans to think about that ethical part of it, to determine what's right from wrong and not just leave it up to the AI. That's why you won't be replaced. And so, as we've discussed, technology, it's a powerful tool. It's a powerful tool, and it's going to enhance our lives in so many ways. But it's important that we remember that the human element, your human element, your gut instinct, your connection, your empathy, your ability to communicate, those are all things, your ability to adapt, those are all things that are irreplaceable. You're irreplaceable. And so our ability to connect, our ability to make these ethical decisions and make sure that there's no bias, it's going to be essential and it's going to be needed in shaping this new future. And so I encourage you to embrace it, embrace it, but also understand that you won't be replaced because you have all of the qualities that are still going to be valuable and needed to be able to take care of their customer, to be able to, problem solve and fix the trucks and do all of the things that need to be done. That irreplaceable human element makes you different. So, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about the irreplaceable human element? Do you agree? Do you agree that your human qualities are going to be essential even in this new advanced technology, automation, autonomy world? I want to hear from you. Share your opinions, share your thoughts. Tell me about your experience in the comments. And as we wrap up today, I want to remind you, continue to learn, continue to grow. Just like Orlando said, I'm learning. I got my CDL, I'm learning. Congratulations, Orlando, again, because that is only going to continue to elevate you. Winners rise to the top. Winners, we win and we rise. And join the winning team because we're going somewhere. We are pioneers on this road to the future. Pioneers, as we grow, as we see new things, we embrace them, we learn from them, and we learn how to turn anything that comes to us into an opportunity. So make sure you're tapped into me. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me across all of my platforms. I'm Jerri Banks. This is the future of trucking, navigating the future of trucking, navigating the transportation industry from a holistic perspective, whether you are in trucking, whether you are in aviation, whether you are in public transportation. We are navigating this future and we're navigating it together. I will see you guys next Wednesday and Thursday and Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure that you connect with me and follow me across all of my platforms. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing weekend.